All right, y'all, Jackson is in the chair. It's been a while since he was on the channel. He's got a basketball tournament this weekend. We're gonna get him all the way together for that tournament. I'm gonna take the top down quite a bit, do a high taper on the sides, regular taper in the back. Let's get right into it. All right, so I know some of you guys don't love watching all these scissor work, so I'm gonna kind of speed through it. If you guys wanna see another video with this cut with the scissor work, click right there. But I will get together with you guys when we get to the fade. All right, guys, so Jackson wants a high taper. We're gonna clear the side with the number 3. You can see the weight line that I left, so I'm just gonna bring the number 3 in, straight up off the head, and connect into that weight line. We'll get the whole side cleared down to a 3, and then we can start our high taper on this side. All right, guys, so first step, we're gonna look from the top of his C-cup to the top of the ear. We're just gonna start our guideline. These are my Andis Slimline Pros. I punch my guidelines in with these because they're not very sharp, and I know that my closed clipper can take that all the way out. So we're just gonna punch this in, and we'll go ahead, bald out the whole sideburn, come in with the shaver, get it down the skin, and then we can come in and start the first step of our fade. All right, guys, so next step, we're gonna go up about a ½ inch with the lever all the way open. These are my Babyliss Custom FXs. And guys, I do have a taper blade on these clippers. It's gonna make the open section just a little bit longer. So if you're new to the channel, I like to put my guideline in with the taper blade, my open guideline at least, because it's a little bit longer and it's gonna make it easier when we transition up from here. So my other clipper has a Vapor or Fusion blade on it. It's gonna cut a little bit shorter, and we're gonna go ahead and switch over to that to take the line out. But this is gonna make our next transition a little bit easier because the taper blade is just that much longer. All right, so first step here, we're gonna come in with the lever all the way closed. We're just gonna take this bottom guideline out, flicking up a little bit, about a third of the way up. Guys, we're gonna break this section down into basically 5 sections. I'm only gonna do it in about 3 sections, but our lever has notches on it. So imagine the top of the section is the 5th notch, the bottom of the section is the 1st notch. And like I said, I'm gonna do 3. So now in the middle, we'll go to the 3rd notch, and we're gonna flick that line out. And again, guys, these are my boosted, they're a little bit shorter. So the last section we're gonna do here is we're just gonna touch up that top line with the lever all the way open and make sure that it's consistent before we move on. Now we're coming in with the 1 guard all the way open, and guys, this is a 3 above it, so not a whole lot more room to work or ground to cover, I guess. So we're just gonna go up another ½ inch, set our guideline in with the lever open. You guys should see this starting to come together. After I do the 1, I'm gonna go ahead and connect everything above it to what we have below it, and then we'll take this last line out between the open 1 and the open clipper. All right, so we know it's a 3 above this, so we're gonna start with the number 2. We're going through this line, connecting to the 2. We don't wanna see a guideline, guys. We're only going 1 step. So 3 to 2. We wanna go up to that 3 without leaving a guideline. And if there's anything left behind, we'll come in with a 1.5 and work that the rest of the way out. All right, now underneath that, we're gonna come in with the 1.5 halfway open. Guys, that is the sweet spot between the 2 closed and the 1 open. So no matter what I do with the 2 closed, there's gonna be a line between the 1 open and the 2 closed, and that is what this 1.5 is for. All right, guys, so this is a 1 open, and then the open clipper. We're gonna start with the 1 all the way closed and start to flick this line out. Now, similar to the 1.5 guys, we will need the half guard. There's just a gap between the open clipper and the 1 guard closed that is not gonna come out. We're gonna need the half guard for that transition. So I'm just gonna get it started. Got a little bit of a line up here I don't like, so I'm gonna come back with the one open. Make sure that we're all tied in very carefully. And then the last thing we'll use is the half guard halfway open. And we should have this fade all the way together. All right, so last but not least, guys, half guard halfway open. Let's see some dark spots right here. That's all we're trying to get out. Like I said, the one closed to the lever open, there's just a gap that we have to use the half guard to get out. So very carefully, we're gonna slowly go at this and work that line until it's all the way gone. And we'll be done with this taper. All right, last but not least, we're gonna hold his hair up out of the way right here and give him a vertical bar, and we'll move on to the back taper. All right, guys, so his hair is up out of the way. We're just gonna hit this corner right here. Just a little bit, we don't wanna take off too much, and then we'll give him a vertical bar without giving him a design in his eyebrow. He likes a line in his eyebrow every now and then. We'll come in when we get done with the tapers and enhance this a little bit just to make it pop. But now that's set, we'll move on to the other taper, and then we can move on to the back. All right, guys, side number 2, we're gonna do the same exact steps. You guys just follow along. We will put the guards down below, and I'll get back with you guys when we get to the back taper. All right, guys, same steps on the back. Bring the number 3 straight up through where we cut that weight line in. Cut it all down to a 3, and then we'll start a taper from the bottom. Same exact steps as the side. All right, so we're gonna move on to line up around the ear. We wanna take off as little as possible, but get a nice sharp line. These are my Stylecraft Sabers. I love these trimmers because they will cut through a bunch of hair. This isn't necessarily a bunch of hair, but Jackson does have a decent amount of hair around his ear. So we'll start at the bottom of the neck, work that up. And when I get up here, I can pivot using my other finger around the ear and get a nice clean circle. You guys just wanna do this little by little until you get it exactly where you want. Pull the ear out of the way. Once we get it kind of etched in, we can come in and detail it and make sure that it is perfect before we move on to the other side. All right, guys, we're gonna come in with Tomb45 No Drip. This is the Onyx, which is pretty black. Jackson has super dark hair, so I'm gonna spray it kind of on the card. I'm letting it bounce off onto his head. Lighter at the bottom, heavier at the top. You wanna pull it off and check it. See, that looks pretty good, just a little bit more. We just wanna accentuate his vertical bars because we basically, all we have on this lineup is his vertical bar. So there's one side. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So put the card in place. Spray it on the card, heavier at the top, lighter at the bottom. Just a little bit more at the top. Boom. All right guys, so moving on to styling, I'm just gonna dampen the hair again. We're gonna apply some Statement grooming spray, and we'll put some Tomb45 Indestructible clay, you guys already know. Come in with the diffuser, get it styled, and you guys can check out the finished product. All right guys, this is a Josh O.P. styling comb I just got. I think he's gonna be dropping them soon. So I'm gonna tell you guys, I definitely dig these combs. It's just not really a lot different than the white tooth comb I was already using, but I do like it, and I'm gonna rep my dog, Josh O.P., you already know. I don't know, Jack, you think we need to cut that front down a little bit?
Yeah, so we cut it a little bit.
All right. Last but not least, a little Tomb45 spray powder, and we'll be done. All right guys, that is it for the cut on Jackson high taper crop. You guys can see the texture on top. I think it turned out super dope. He definitely had a lot of hair to work with. Like I said, if you guys want to see a more detailed scissor work video on this cut, I'm gonna put it at the end of the video. But I hope you guys learned something today. Glad to see my guy Jack getting back together for this basketball tournament. Good luck, my dog, and we'll catch you guys next time.